ever questioned if your relationship is healthy? In other words, are you in a trauma bond or are you in an authentic, healthy relationship? So I'm going to go over some of my notes I took on trauma bonds versus authentic, healthy relationships and true love. Okay. So first of all, if you're in a trauma bond, this probably started out with like a really intense, hardcore sexual chemistry, and you just like were like, what's coming over me, right? Like very intense straight from the beginning. When it's true love, it could start out as you could be totally attracted to this person, but it's not so intense. And it's something that actually builds over time. You might even start out as friends and then build an emotional connection over time, which increases that physical attraction, right? Okay, and then the trauma bonds are like, it kind of goes along with the first one, it's highly sexually charged. But when you have a healthy bond where where it builds over time, you will also have a lot of sexual attraction, but it's also going to be with intellectual and emotional attraction. You're going to have a lot of physical, sexual, emotional, and intellectual. You're going to have all of those components, not only just highly sexually charged, right? It's going to be mostly based on sex in the trauma bond. The trauma bonds are also going to have extreme highs and extreme lows, like a roller coaster ride, you guys. And you're with the true love and the authentic relationships. It's going to be more on an even keel. It's going to be stable. You're going to have a lot of respect for each other, and you're not going to feel that like unpredictable stuff, like where you get in a lot of fights and arguments all the time. However, fights are natural. Arguments are natural. Actually, if you don't have any arguments in a relationship, I would question whether one of you is being authentic, because if you're not speaking up for yourself and you're just going along with anything that the other person wants, that's not healthy for you. And so you need to look into that, look into being a people pleaser. And there's a really good book called People Pleasers No More. It's okay to argue. It's just about arguing in a respectful manner where you're hearing each other and you're respecting the other person, and there's nobody putting the other person down. Okay, so it goes along with that. In the trauma bonds, you're going to avoid important conversations because it feels unsafe. It feels unsafe to speak your truth, so you're kind of avoiding conflict. But when you're having a healthy, true love relationship, you don't avoid those important conversations. You dive right into them. It could get a little bit heated sometimes, but at the end of the day, you're going to respect each other, get through it, and come to a nice compromise, and at least agreeing to disagree and understanding the other person's perspective. And then finally, the trauma bond feels like an addiction that you're actually trying to quit. Like, I cannot get away from this person. While the true love, you just feel just so honored. It's a pleasure to be in this relationship. You feel lucky and you feel respected, and you really have true respect for the other person. I've said this a lot, like you're choosing that relationship. And I know my mom had said back when she was alive, she used to tell me, like, you can respect someone that you don't love, but you cannot love someone you don't respect. Respect has to be there, you guys. So I hope this helped you guys if you were questioning whether or not your relationship is healthy. If you know someone who sounds like, from your the outside looking in, they might be in one of these unhealthy trauma bond relationships, please pass this video on to them. And I would love for them, this is just a quick little overview, I'd love for them to look into it further. There's a lot of free information out there, especially on YouTube. I highly recommend seeking out this information if you find yourself in one of these toxic situations. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day.